Hello and welcome, nerds, to the Biss Knows Ball podcast. I'm your host, Brady Biscuits. This is episode 11. On today's episode, we're going to take a look at a trade that went through in one of my dynasty leagues, as well as a look at how I spent each one of my rookie picks in said dynasty league in 2025. So, without further ado, let's get it going. So let's take a look at the trade first. So the trade was Travion Henderson for Colson Loveland and a 2026 first-round pick. So take a look at the Henderson side first. So the person getting Henderson. What do we like about Henderson? He's 22 years old. He's 5'10", 210. He was drafted in the second round, so good draft capital to the New England Patriots. He's currently running back 23 in Dynasty. He's going around players like CMC, his fellow rookie Judkins, Ken Walker III, players like that. What we really like about Henderson is he's a twitchy runner, and his superpower is his short hands. He had 0 fumbles in 3 years in college, and he's exceptional in pass protection. So a con, or the downside of Henderson, is he's a little bit undersized, so we worry about him really taking that 3-down true bell cow or workhorse role in any offense that he joined. He joins Ramondre Stevenson in the New England backfield. Currently, Ramondre is not at OTAs, so that will allow Henderson to kind of get the first touches and really maybe carve out a role quicker than he would have if Stevenson was there. Stevenson's seen a dip in yards per carry over the last 2 years, where he finished outside of the RB2 range. He has also seen his passing role diminish, which is what helped him to a top 10 finish in 2022. And he's a $0 dead cap hit in 2027. So he's not the Patriots' future. That's Henderson, right? Henderson is the now and the future, and I predict that he will have a majority workload by the end of the season, and be the focal point of that running game headed into year 2. So that's the Henderson side. The Loveland side, so Loveland in the 2026 first, right? So Loveland is 21, he's 6'6", 248. He was taken in the top 10 of the NFL by the Bears. He's currently ranked as the tight end 6 in Dynasty. He quickly shot up those Dynasty ranks going into the Bears offense. What we really like about Loveland, he has elite route tree on all 3 levels. He's an above average speed, and he's talented after the catch. He's not the type to kind of catch the ball and then fall down. He really looks to make a play, and he's talented and fast enough to make it happen. His cons, though, he kind of runs at one speed. He doesn't have a change of speed like in that other gear. And we have some concerns about his playmaking strength at the NFL level. So he's going to be going against corners and safeties that are men, right? So you're looking at, in college, maybe he was playing against little boys or not quite the NFL talent, like every game, every route that he's about to run. NFL, he is going to see that strength. The Bears can cut Kmet, so they have Cole Kmet on the roster right now, so they can cut Kmet in 2026 for $3 million dead cap, so not a lot of money at all. People want to crown Loveland Laporta, right? He's coming in with Ben Johnson, the new head coach there in Chicago, and it might not be that simple, right? So we've been spoiled by tight ends Laporta 2 years ago, and then Bowers last year, but normally tight ends don't perform that well their rookie season, so I believe, he's a top 10 pick, so the NFL has told us they believe in his talent, and I believe in his talent as well. But we might have to wait, right? So it might not be like year 1, Brock Bowers coming in, tight end 1, Laporta coming in, tight end 1, that his rookie season, right? So going on along with that, you have the 2026 first. That could be anything. I haven't really looked at next year's class, but 2026. From the experts is not as strong as 2024 or the real winner, the real kind of draft classes everybody's eyeing is that 2027. I think it was a bit of an overpay for Henderson, but take your guys. In these leagues, nobody is selling these people cheap, right? Especially rookies with all that potential upside. If you believe in your guy, go get your guy. So a bit of an overpay. I wouldn't say anything crazy, but trust the process, go get your guy, and make it happen. Now, my draft, how I spent I had 4 rookie draft picks. I had the 108, the 205, the 307, and the 308. I shipped the 207 prior to the draft as part of a deal for Jameson Williams, who I believe in 2025 and going forward. So, my first pick was the 108. The 108, I had the option of taking, so I was staring down Caleb Johnson and RJ Harvey, and I went back and forth. I was doing some mocks, leading up to this rookie draft, and I didn't know where I was going to go, to be honest with you. I ended up going Caleb Johnson. So I was scared of the age for RJ, and I went, call me an ageist, but I went RJ. I went Caleb. So Caleb is 21 years old. He's 6'1", 224. He got drafted to the Pittsburgh Steelers. He takes over that Najee role, so he joins Jaylen Warren in the backfield. Now, Jaylen Warren is a talented and efficient back, but he takes over that Najee role. So the pros, he showed he can handle a huge workload in college and be productive. He's a patient and explosive runner. He was running in a pro scheme at Iowa. Pittsburgh loves him, and so there was an easy scout and an easy take for them. Khan says his pass protection is not where it needs to be, so we worry about him being on the field on third downs and getting that valuable third down role that will probably go to Jaylen Warren as well. Again, I was staring down Harvey with the news of Dobbins signing with Denver. I'm happy with my selection with Caleb. I'm excited to see what he can do. He's a young talent, and he joins my desperately needed running back room in Dynasty. So with my second pick, 205, I took Jaden Higgins. This was another one where I was kind of back and forth with, and I'll talk about some of the other guys that I was considering here later on. But Jaden Higgins at 205, he's 22, 6'4", 215. He goes to Houston in round 2. The round 2, great draft capital. His pros, he's fast. He's 4'4". He's 4'4". He ran a 4'4" 40. He has a huge wingspan. He's a plus separator. He's great hands, and he's graded as the number 3 athlete in the class. So you love to see that as a big man. His cons. Yards after catch, he's not really, even though he's fast, he's not really running by corners. And his yards after catch he's more of a contested catch kind of guy. So hopefully he can work on that yards after catch and be more versatile. He has early second-round draft capital. That shows how concerned the Texans are about Tank's injury, and I'm excited to see him operate opposite Nico. So I believe it'll be Nico on one side, Jaden Higgins on the other, and Christian Kirk in the slot to start the season. So we'll see how that goes. I believe in the Texans offense bouncing back as post-hype sleepers. Next, I had to wait all the way to the 307. We only have 3 rounds in the rookie draft. 307, and I took Jarquez Hunter. He went to the Rams. He's 5'9", 204. We got 4th-round draft capital. He handles a heavy workload. He shows downhill quickness. His con is that he's not great at forcing missed tackles. He's a stash in Dynasty. I hope that he passes Blake Corum. Them taking a 4th-round running back shows, I think, that they don't really like what they see with Blake, or they're concerned about Kyron. I hope he passes Blake on the depth chart and competes with Kyron for touches here in 2025. Kyron is a unrestricted free agent in 2026, so that's why I'm calling Hunter a stash in Dynasty. With my last rookie pick, I took Tyler Shough. He's 25, so on the older side for sure as an incoming rookie. He's 6'5", 219. He can make all the throws, though. So his scouting tape, watching his tape and watching the combine, he makes all the throws, and he has plus arm strength, so he can really chug it. He messy pockets, so when the pocket isn't clean, it bothers him a lot, and he needs decent pass protection to really operate well. And he's been injured in college, so we do have those injury concerns coming in to the Saints training camp. But with Derek Carr retiring, I took Tyler. He should be starting day 1. If he doesn't beat out like Spencer Rattler, we have a big problem. I'll probably just cut him and pick up somebody else. So just some overall thoughts and observations from my rookie draft. I wanted to highlight one of the best values that I've seen, or the best value in my rookie draft. Emeka Egbuka went in the 3rd round. I mean 301, but he went 301, which is absolutely criminal. I believe Egbuka should have been I don't know why I didn't take him in the second, but he shouldn't have gone back past me at 205 or 207, whatever I had. But to get him in the third round, that's a crazy value. I believe he went to Mark the Shark, who was picking at the one spot. He took Genty. I think he traded his second, and then he picked Ibuka, which is a great, like Genty and Ibuka. That's a great draft for first round and a third round take. And then my bold take, might not be too bold or spicy, but I believe Jackson Dart, because he went after Cam Ward, I believe Jackson Dart finishes ahead of Cam Ward in fantasy this year in 2025, which will require Dart to quickly take the starting position and outperform Ward, because I believe Ward starts week 1. But that's kind of my bold take there. So going back, two of the other receivers that I was considering taking at that 207 when I took Jaden Higgins was Trey Harris and Jack Besh. So let's talk about Harris first. So Harris is 6'2", 205. Again, a second-round pick. He went to the Chargers. He joins Ladd and Justin Herbert, and he looks to compete for that number 2 receiving role with Quentin Johnson, who was a high draft pick for the Chargers 2 years ago. My concern is that Harbaugh wants to run the ball. They brought in Najee. They selected Hampton. They really want to run the ball. I think they passed at the second. They were passing heavy in the second half of last year, where Ladd took off because they felt like they had to. Like the running game wasn't working the way they wanted it to. So I think they beefed that up a little bit. And I think default they want to run the ball. His cons. He has injury history, and he's not excuse me, he's not great at contested catches. His pros, he has NFL size and speed. He runs by defenders, and he's always a deep ball threat. Now let's talk about our guy, Jack Besh, 6'1", 214. Again, a wide receiver that went in the second round, this time to the Raiders. The Raiders are looking like an exciting offense going into 2025. New QB, obviously Genty, Jack Besh, new head coach. I'm excited to see what they can do. So the pros for Jack Besh, size and strength. He has good body control and ball skills. His cons, he doesn't have burst or speed, and he's not great at run blocking, but that might keep him off the field. But I want my guy running routes. You know what I mean? He goes to Las Vegas, where he should be the clear number 2 behind Jacoby Myers. Number 2 wide receiver, not number 2 target. I think Bowers obviously is the number 1 target. Then Myers the number 2. Then Besh would be 3 at best. He's competing with targets with those 2 guys. But there's a path to success, right? You know what I mean? There's the path that he surpasses Myers and is the second kind of read in that offense, which is exciting. So those were the 2 that I was going back and forth. Ultimately, I took Jaden Higgins for the upside. I like Jaden Higgins coming in, so that's